Involuntary memory is a part of memory that occurs when cues encountered in everyday life evoke recollections of the past without conscious effort. Voluntary memory, its opposite, is characterized by our deliberate effort to recall the past. Marcel Proust was the first person to coin the term involuntary memory in his novel Remembrance of Things Past. Proust viewed involuntary memory as containing the essence of the past, claiming that it was absent from voluntary memory. In his novel, he describes an incident where he was eating tea-soaked cake, and a childhood memory of eating tea-soaked cake with his aunt was revealed to him. "8mm home movies are the moving image equivalent of a personal letter, a diary, or family journal, and hold the essence of our past. As a photographer, I found my interest led me to try movies. But for earlier photographers, it was a new technology which became affordable for professionals in the 1920s and 1930s.
And now Kodak has made showing your movies even easier with the new Brownie automatic movie projectors. They thread themselves automatically. Watch. Right onto the take-up reel. These youngsters can enjoy their holiday in the big city in action and color automatically. With this model, you can stop the action or reverse it like this. For crowd-pleasing comedy effects.
Home movies date from about 1923 on 16mm film stock, 1935 on 8mm film, and 1965 on Super 8. Amateur motion picture films provide a record of life that is unique. Unlike commercially produced movies, they're usually shot by people intimately connected to the experience, who choose moments and subjects important to them. Home movies hold quite different content and form than professional films, whether newsreel or dramatic movies. The professionals were paid to set up tripods and roll film of the rich and famous, the newsworthy event, or the movie script. Home movie makers concentrated on family and friends, done with a shared love of our children, vacations, homes, backyards, or waiting for the parade to pass. The home movie gives us information that is not orchestrated, not propaganda, and not made for money. These movies provide our culture with a deeper and different record than still images. These movies hold clips of life over the last 80 years, things that are intensely interesting and of importance to us. The uniqueness of its point of view from the past makes it important that they be made, shared, and preserved for the future. 8mm stock was filmed on 2 separate edges to maximize time for filming. This required turning the film spool over midway so it could film on the opposite edge. Once developed, however, it was turned into one strip of film that could give you roughly 4 minutes of footage. 4 minutes to record the lives, the loves, the essence of our life. How do you choose what is important? It turns out that what we think is the mundane or the simplicity of our life is what we truly want to remember. The reminiscence bump is the phenomenon where memories formed during adolescence and early adulthood are more commonly remembered than those throughout other periods in life. This is due to the formation of self-identity or the development of cognitive abilities across a person's lifespan. It has been found that this is true for both voluntary and involuntary memories. So, like Proust, smells, feelings, and sounds can make us recall vivid memories of our youth, much like our sleeping dreams do. 8mm films, silent, fragmentary, flickering, imperfectly lit, are like dreams themselves, or subliminal messages. The thing we really love most about old film is the tactile feeling of the image, the tape splices with dust and fingerprints, the countdown, the scenes that flare out at the end of a reel, the film weaving in the gate. All that makes the image feel raw, fragile, and ephemeral, like it's going to disintegrate as you're watching it. The colors were always gorgeous, saturated Kodachrome in full sun, or underexposed indoors. Just the fact that you could bring cinema into the home and emulate what was being done theatrically was interesting to people. You're documenting your own life. When you watch home movies, you get a huge insight into your family dynamic. So I think that carries over to the trends today. We just want something organic and real. When people start pulling out their phones and start posing, or filming others at their worst or best. Only then do we start thinking about the dialogue in our head that we want to say while editing our captured moment. You don't get that with 8mm. Not having sound is a huge advantage. You're getting an in-depth look at how people interact, with body language and facial expressions, all the visual cues that portray the essence of a person. Because it's real, and deep down people want real things, it's capturing life as it plays out. Nowadays, the more we find ourselves tuning to reality, the better the digital asset becomes, and the worse the archival value gets. But in film, it is the opposite. It's clearer now. 8mm is not nostalgia. It's history. If you put on an older vinyl record, it's a physical auditory experience. It's the sound moving through you. 8mm has a physical depth to it that causes physical emotion as the images fill our mind. You see so many more details in those frames, and those details are really the triggers of your memory. When you can see your parents or grandparents young, yourself laughing, playing, and moving, when you can see the color of the wallpaper or mundane objects, your memory experiences the bump. You can almost touch your grandmother again. You can smell the cooking or the Christmas tree. I think 8mm helps us to see the world as it really is and was. Not only its extraordinary beauty and diversity, but observations make us aware of how we perceive and how we interact with others, showing us how often we are mistaken in our own assumptions, and how easy it is to have a biased view of another person, place, or ourselves. Proust urges each of us to comprehend, develop, and deploy our remarkable faculties. He intended his book to persuade us that we are incredibly rich instruments, but that most often we let our gifts lie dormant, or we squander them. We should bring out the charm and value of the everyday. Let the camera of your life run to capture the essence of life, not the objects of life. So what did I learn from 8mm film? It's that life is fleeting. My own perceived memories about myself and my own past are clouded and misinterpreted by life moments, experience, and jaded by popular culture. 8mm is time travel to the unscripted real record of how things were. And the joy that so many viewers feel at watching 8mm derives from the long-delayed triumph of our present self, and the realization that we too can attempt to lead a truer life, letting go of habit and expectations to embrace the everyday.
Let's drift away from this world of madness. Take a little time to enjoy the silence. Feel the wind as it touches your lips. Feel the sun as you close your eyelids.